Okay, the last little thing I want to talk about in plotting out a drawing is plot style tables. So I right click here and again go into my page setup manager and click on modify. You can see we've got a plot style table here called monochrome, which we just kind of let be picked as the default. We never really spoke about it. Let's kind of have a little talk about this now. What this actually does is, and how I personally use it, is you might have kind of heard me talk about line weights, and I'd eventually show you kind of an easy way to control your line weights. If you're printing out a drawing, it tends to be that you print it out in black and white. The only thing about that is the definition in the drawing gets a little bit lost, and this is how I control the definition on the drawing. If we pop in here to the plot style table, and if I go into monochrome, just to the right of it there's a little edit feature, so pop in here. If you look, we've got all the colours of the rainbow here, all our 255 colours that we can select in here, that we can actually change a few things. And to be honest with you, the only difference between the monochrome plot style table and the ACAD one that's colour is the fact that when you pick a red colour here, property colour is black, and we could actually make red print out yellow, we could make yellow print out green. You know, you choose here what you want, what colour you want it to pick out. You know, so you can come along and actually even pick out any colour at all for it to print out. Why you'd want to do that, I don't know, but anyway. So what we do for this monochrome one, black and white, is really all the colours you can see are going to print out the colour black. Now, so that's why we get a black and white sort of look to the drawing. Now, what I do in here is come along here. There's a line weight selection here, so there's a few different line weights you can pick from in here. And I'm kind of just thinking of pens on the drawing board, and I always go back to the old days, drawn in with your pens. A few of the sizes here, you might have a 0.35 or a 0.18. You can see up here there's 0.5, so we can change the line weights. What I normally do then is, if I left click there and just drag a window and pull it right down to the bottom, so I quickly select all 255 and change the line weight of them all to, and this depends on your paper quality as well. If your paper is not of wonderful quality, the ink when it spreads on it will, or ink when it kind of fires onto it, will spread a little bit, so it'll give you that little bit heavier a line. But the better quality your paper, the less likely it is to spread and soak into the page. But it takes longer to dry, obviously, then. But if you kind of select around 0.18 for a line weight for general, so if I look now, everything is 0.18 now. So I'm going to print out at a line weight of 1.18. The default, by the way, size is 0.254. So this one here, roughly 0.254 is the default if you don't kind of change anything. So I kind of want them mostly to be a little bit lighter. But what if I wanted a slightly heavier line? Well, I kind of, again, bring it back to the drawing board. If I select color 7, I'll make that my heavier pen. So come along here, maybe just 0.35, and to be honest, if I want a heavier border or something like that, I'll use a polyline, and I'll leave it at that. So I've got color 7 or black or white, you know, whichever the background color is. So the black color is 0.35. Every other color I pick is a fine weight. I don't really change it from that. If you guys kind of are used to using a few different pen weights, you can come in here and change a few colors, and then you realize then when you set up your layers and you set a color to a layer, you're actually setting a line weight to it that way. By assigning the color 7 to it, I'm basically saying that this layer is going to print out at 0.35. So if I want a heavy line, I'll maybe assign that to that. If I want a light line, well, it doesn't really matter what color I use, all the rest of them are the same line weight. So I save and close that, and if I do a little preview now, sort of zoom in there, and you can see hopefully the slightly heavier line on the outline there, but then these are kind of using a color, so that's kind of lighter. If I exit that, click OK and close, you can kind of see I've got these in sort of a different color, but this is all black. So again, if I do a quick plot preview, Control P is plot, do a preview, zoom into it just to see, so you can see it's slightly heavier. Now if you wanted to make that a little bit bolder or this one a little bit lighter, you can kind of change the line weights down a little bit, but I'd suggest you print it out before you actually go finalizing any line weights, because the print is where it tells, not so much on the screen. You know, the print is the telltale, like I said, not the screen. So I go here. So that's my plot style table in monochrome, and that's how I control the line weights. So when you're in plot, then it's just a matter of clicking OK, and it should send it off to the printer. Again, you can have any number of copies or whatever you want. Okay.